Q6828. While hovering immediately after liftoff, an excessive amount of forward cyclic is required to maintain the desired position over the ground. If flight is continued, this situation will be A. Aggravated if the fuel tanks are located aft of the CG. B. Unimproved regardless of the location of the fuel tanks. C. Aggravated if the fuel tanks are located forward of the CG. The correct answer is C. While hovering immediately after liftoff, if an excessive amount of forward cyclic is required to maintain the desired position over the ground, this situation will be aggravated if the fuel tanks are located forward of the center of gravity, CG. The location of the fuel tanks in relation to the CG has a significant impact on the helicopter's balance and stability. When the fuel tanks are positioned forward of the CG, they contribute to a forward shift in the overall CG of the helicopter. This forward CG shift creates an inherently unstable condition, requiring increased forward cyclic input to counteract the nose-down pitching moment. In the given scenario, the excessive forward cyclic requirement during hovering after liftoff indicates an already unbalanced condition. If the fuel tanks are located forward of the CG, it will further aggravate the situation. The forward position of the fuel tanks will shift the CG even more forward, intensifying the instability and increasing the demand for forward cyclic input. On the other hand, if the fuel tanks were located aft of the CG, they would contribute to a rearward shift in the CG. This rearward CG shift would have a stabilizing effect, reducing the demand for forward cyclic input. Therefore, the situation would be less aggravated in this case. It is important to note that regardless of the fuel tank position, the excessive forward cyclic requirement is an indication of an unbalanced condition that needs to be addressed. Proper weight and balance management, along with appropriate cyclic inputs, are crucial for maintaining stability and control during helicopter operations. Q6829. A helicopter is loaded in such a manner that the CG is located aft of the aft allowable CG limit. Which statement is true about this hazardous situation? A. In case of an auto rotation, sufficient aft cyclic control may not be available to flare properly. B. This out-of-balance situation would be easily recognized when hovering in a strong headwind. C. Should the helicopter pitch up due to gusty winds during high-speed flight, there may not be sufficient forward cyclic control available to lower the nose. The correct answer is C. In a situation where the center of gravity, CG, of a helicopter is located aft of the aft allowable CG limit, it is true that there may not be sufficient forward cyclic control available to lower the nose if the helicopter pitches up due to gusty winds during high-speed flight. The position of the CG is crucial for maintaining stability and control of the helicopter. When the CG is located aft of the allowable limit, it creates an out-of-balance condition that can have adverse effects on the helicopter's handling and control. In the given scenario, if the helicopter encounters gusty winds during high-speed flight and pitches up, the natural response would be to lower the nose to regain a level flight attitude. However, due to the aft CG position, there may not be enough forward cyclic control available to effectively lower the nose. This limitation in forward cyclic control can result in difficulties in returning the helicopter to a level flight attitude, potentially compromising the pilot's ability to maintain control and stability. It is important to note that the other options are incorrect, which suggests that sufficient aft cyclic control may not be available to flare properly during an auto rotation, is not necessarily true in this specific scenario. Stating that the out-of-balance situation would be easily recognized when hovering in a strong headwind, does not directly relate to the given CG position being aft of the aft limit. Therefore, the correct statement in this hazardous situation is that there may not be sufficient forward cyclic control available to lower the nose if the helicopter pitches up due to gusty winds during high-speed flight. Proper weight and balance management, along with adherence to CG limitations, are crucial for ensuring safe and controlled helicopter operations.